All right. So welcome. We have Erin, Kobe, and Danielle here today. We're going to go over just the agenda, like always. We have a few demos today and some just reminders, and we're going to go over some care coordination updates. So let's get started. Again, we just like to let people know to remind you that we do have a 90-day user deactivation. We do recommend that folks log in once a week or at least monthly to retain the access. We do, when you become deactivated, you'll be removed from all of your folks' care teams, and any lead CC associations and care managed patients will be off of your panel. We do find that it is very difficult to add that back. It is very manual. So we just like to remind folks that we do have a 90-day deactivation. We do not send out reminders just for compliance purposes. So again, we just like to remind folks to log in as much as they can to prevent that. So I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to Danielle to go over some demos, and we'll keep a watch on the chat. We do have everybody on mute. We'll keep a watch on the chat if anything comes up during that, and we'll try to address that after the demos are done.
Great, good morning. I'm going to go ahead and get logged into Care Navigator. Just one moment. Okay, I'm just signing in. Just give it a moment. Okay, so the first thing I was going to show you this morning, we have a new field. It's the last encounter date and last conference date. So I'm going to go into our test patient. Well, we are in the testing system, so all of them are test patients, but I'm going to use Gail Matthews this morning. Okay, so you'll click into the encounter log, and right here you'll see date of last encounter. So this field will update every time you enter a new encounter. This will update with that date, and we also did that for the care team conference. So you'll see the date of last conference right here. Excuse me. And you can also see this in the views. So if you go back to patients, let's do this a minute. And if you scroll over at the top here, if you ever need to filter, it's after the acuity level. You'll see date of last encounter and date of last conference. So you could always filter by those fields if you needed to. Put your filter on here, and so that's a new addition, and that is in the live environment now. Erin, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. Okay, so the next demonstration, I'm going to show you how to add and change the lead care coordinator. So I'm going to go into my patient, Gail Matthews.
And Danielle, as you do that, we've got a couple of comments in the Q&A, and I'm wondering if folks can hear us. We're getting questions as if the meeting started and if people can call in so they can hear us. So I'm just wanted to just check in to see if folks are able to hear us and if they can respond so in the Q&A.
How's it looking?
I'm just waiting to see.
Okay.
Okay, we are good. Thank you guys for checking.
Oh, great.
I just wanted to double check Danielle just because I got a couple of questions. So
yeah, no problem.
Sorry to interrupt.
It's okay. Okay, so I'm going to click into Gail Matthews. And this again is the adding and changing a lead care coordinator. So I'm going to go down to care coordination and get to the care team member section, which is a little bit hidden here, but it's on, here's the care team members, and then it's on this bar. We'll click in the grid. I'm just going to add myself as a care team member and then assign myself as a lead. So just pick my role as care coordinator, participation type, I'll do care team member. And this is where you check the box lead CC. And then a pop-up will come up every time asking for a reason for the lead CC change. And there might not be a change. It could be for the first time, but you just have to select something. I'm going to put internal staffing change. And then hit save and close. It's a little delayed today. There we go. And then you can see my name here. And in order to see it here in the orange banner, you refresh your screen. You can do that right here, or if you moved out of your patient and went back in, you would also see it populate here. There it is. The next demonstration, it's another quick one, but I wanted to show people where the deceased date field is. I know that question comes up a lot. It's a little hidden, so I'm still going to use Gail Matthews. I'm going to go into the care coordination. And then, excuse me, where you see it's in the care coordination status, and you can see right here, this field is locked right now for the deceased date. Once you click in this space, you scroll down and you select deceased, and you see this unlocks. So this is where you can go ahead and put in a deceased date. And then hit save. So that was a quick one, but I wanted to show you all that. The next one, excuse me, I just wanted to show you where the shared care plan was and how to open it. So we can still use Gail Matthews. And then it's right here, shared care plan. So just click in that field. Okay, and here it is. You can see there's we're on page 1 of 2. So you just do a scroll down here, see what it looks like, and then you just hit your arrow to see the second page. Actually, there's 3 pages here. There's the second page, and then the third page. If you want to export, you can export it, and then you could print it. You may even be able to just print from here. Every computer's a little different, but you know, you could print it. You just go to File. Well, no, that's probably not where I want to go, but you'd probably want to do an Excel format or an XML file with report data when you export. So that's just a simple demonstration of the shared care plan. And then you just X out up here. Okay. Okay, the next one I wanted to show was how to send a care team notification. So still in my patient, right here you hit send notification. And this is a way to communicate with people on the patient's care team. So the notification type, got several choices: alert, clinical, general, notify, report, very important. I'm going to pick clinical on this one. And I'm just going to say that Gail is being discharged today. I just want other people to know that. And then you can select everyone on the care team to receive this message, or you can just select individuals. I'm just going to pick myself for demonstration purposes. Then you hit send. And so once you hit send, an email will be sent to let the other care team members know that they have a notification. And it will basically trigger you to log in to Care Navigator. The message will appear here in the care team notifications, which I'll show you. You can see my message is right here. It will also appear on your home page. Okay. In the unread notifications. So it's right here. Just going to scroll over. Gail is being discharged today. And you could click into the message. Excuse me. And you can see it a little further, and you can mark it as read. So then it will go into your read file. Okay. And I'm just going to get back. Okay, well I haven't. Another demonstration, I just wanted to show folks how to add and deact care team members. It's always a popular question that we get. So I am going to go back into my patient. You can either go to your active patient, my active patients. I could select Gail from here, or you can, I like to go here a lot to the patients in orange, and that will give you every patient that you have access to. The asterisk here, it searches pretty well, I find. Okay, here we are again, Gail Matthews. So this is where you go to add and deactivate care team members. I'm going to click in care coordination. So I clicked it too many times. Okay, and then again, we'll scroll down to the care team members section right here in this grid. Click in the box. Okay, and I'm already on the care team, so I'm going to add Erin to this team. So you just type the person's name. If you only know last name, or, well, last name's better than just knowing the first name. It will search right here when you click. Role, I'm going to pick care coordinator, and she's going to be a care team member. And then you simply just hit save and close. And then there she is, Erin Covey. And then if you want to remove somebody from the care team, you are still in the same section. You place a check mark in front of their name. So just like that. And then these populate these fields up here. And then this is where you'd want to click deactivate if you want to remove them. And then you have to enter a reason for removal. I'm just going to put staffing change. Okay. And then care team member was deactivated and a notification is sent. So that would be, again, received in an email to let that person know that they were removed. And then if you want to reactivate someone that was removed, so this would happen when during that 90-day deactivation, this is where you need to come to put people back on the team. So you'll be at the active connections for patient and you click on this drop down. You have to select inactive connection associated view. And then just place a check mark in front of the person that you want to add back. So these are all the people who are deactivated right now. I'm going to add, just going to grab somebody. I'm going to pick Denise. You just put a check mark in front of their name and then hit activate. And then, excuse me, I'm going to switch this back over to active connections. Oh, sorry, active connections for patient. And then you can see Denise is back on the care team. So that's that one. Have any questions come up that people might have? Because my next demonstration is just to show you where our Care Navigator resources are again. And
Hey Danielle, we did have a question that came in, and I think Erin's going to take point on addressing it, but it might be something that you could show.
Sure.
If it's the appropriate time.
Okay. My only other one was just to show where how to get to our Care Navigator resources, and that's all I had scheduled for today.
Perfect. So perfect opportunity, folks. If there are questions that you have, or if there's other functionality that you would like us to demonstrate today. The one question that we did get from someone was how to delete contacts from the home page.
I think I need a little more information. So here's our home page.
And specifically for that person, because it's an anonymous, so I don't know who asked it, but if you could let us know, is it specific to contact information, or is the same, I think the same person is saying when adding a team member? how do you delete contacts from the home page when adding a team member, perhaps? I'm not sure if that makes.
Well, I can say this, like if you're talking about if you want to see them removed from your active patient list, that automatically happens when you remove yourself from the patient's care team, or if someone removes you from a patient's care team, you will no longer see the patient listed here in this My Active Patients section. I'm not sure if that's what they're asking about.
I'm trying to connect with them to see if that's more specific.
Okay.
For them. And then we have two more here, Danielle. We have one that's, what if a person's name's not in the drop-down list? I don't know if maybe you want to go over if someone's name is not listed in their drop-down list to select for a care team member.
Okay, so are we talking about when we are sending a notification and they're not there to select in the list, or I'm not sure. I think I might need more information on that one too.
I'm going to move to the next one. We have, is there a way to pull down the list by in report care team member from all patient records if they're active or deactivated for? So is there a way to pull a list or report by care team member?
So if in reference to if 90-day deactivation happens and you are removed, we do have the ability to run a list of the folks that you were removed from. That's like an internal thing that we would have to do for you, so you would have to reach out to the help desk for that.
And then there's another one, just going over the 90 deactivation that I can handle. We have someone asking, is it correct that the 90-day login must be in the hub and the app doesn't count? To answer that, it's app or the hub. So it's 90-day deactivation is if you haven't logged into either.
Yes. Great question.
And then we have another one. What if a person's name is not in the drop-down list when adding a care team member? So that's the specific.
Okay. So if they're not in the list to add someone to a care team, then that generally means that they're not an active Care Navigator user. And so there could be that discussion of whether or not they want to be a user, and it depends on the organization, of course, and whether or not they're contracted with OneCare. Now, if you're saying, can you still add somebody that's not a Care Navigator user? Yes, you can, and that would be where you would pick them as a excuse me, a non-ACO care team member, so you can add them. But it would be important to make sure that, because a lot of people become deactivated or inactive for various reasons, so I think you would want to just make sure they weren't a user at some point and happen to be deactivated. But that would be one reason why they're not showing up in that selection when you search their name. So I would just do a little research, maybe reach out to the help desk, and we can look to see if maybe they were deactivated first before you add them as a non-ACO care team member. I don't know if that helps for that question.
I think we have a couple more questions I'll sub in as this one is general, and I hope, Danielle, if you're able to get it, great. If not, we can connect directly with the person, but why the asterisks?
Well, you mean when I'm searching for patients? You don't need to. I found that just using Care Navigator, I had a hard time finding patients. will need to search patients for people occasionally, and I have discovered that I can always find them when I search this way. Let me caps on. You don't need to, but it is in our user guide. We have some ways that you can search, and this is one of them. Like you could do Gail, and if you didn't know how to spell the last name, you could just do like the beginning of her last name, and that would still find her. It's just been a way that I found the easiest to find people or to find patients. But you can certainly search by just the last name. You could filter, like if I just go to patients, let me just go home first. Yeah, you could you could put your filter on here, and then you can just do a custom filter.
And we've got a couple of other questions whenever you're ready, Danielle.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
So for Sarah, we had two, and I'll put them together and we can see where we go from there. But is the internal report only for those care team members that have been deactivated as a result of not accessing Care Navigator for 90 days? And so I'm interpreting that one too.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm wondering, Sarah, if you're referencing, so when we deactivate individuals and to ensure that we're in compliance with our data security plan, we go through the last 90 days it's run. They're all deactivated, and there is no the internal report that we utilize is specific for our admin functionality, which is how we ensure that we're provisioning users to the system correctly. And so that report isn't something that we publicly share. I don't know if that's kind of what your question is, but if there are additional kind of questions or workflows that you're looking to that are specific for your organization, please reach out directly to the help desk and we can help kind of provide a little bit more detail. In this forum, it's a little hard because you're not able to speak, and so sometimes those types of questions are best answered when we can have a one-to-one, and then if there are findings that would benefit the whole group, we include in the notes. And Sarah also stated, Danielle, who would we reach out to? And I think that was, I don't know if that was in reference to something that you were showing previously.
Maybe if they wanted the list run of who was inactivated, that would go to the help desk also.
And sorry, I'm just trying to keep up with some of the questions that are coming in. Going over the steps of how to set up a meeting with a provider or others on a care team. That might be in reference, I don't know if you're referencing, Darlene, the care team conference. That could be what you're referencing, Darlene, and if it is, we can most certainly show that. If you could just confirm so that we don't show you something that you're not looking for. And while she replies, will deactivated users appear in the list of former users if you ever try to reactivate them to the care team?
So once they're reactivated, as long as someone isn't deleted, if you reactivate, then all the information is still there that all the work that you've done will all be back. I'm not sure if there was more to that question or not. If you can. No,
I think that you answered it, Danielle, and I think that's the difference between deleting and deactivating. And so
yes,
our workflow that we support and that our modules and our user guide all reflects to deactivating, so that exactly that. If someone is deactivated, their information doesn't get erased. It remains within the system.
Yes.
And I have a couple of individual questions. And again, I don't know the name of this individual, but if you can reach out, because I think it would be helpful for us to have a direct connection with some of your questions, because they're specific to your organization. And Darlene, thank you. So Darlene was referring to the Care Team Conference workflow. And so Danielle, if you wouldn't mind just showing kind of that process for folks.
Sure. Just go back home here. I'm just going to click in to Gail Matthews. Oops, I'm already in her, so. There we go. So Care Team Conference. Just click in the on the plus sign. It's still loading here. There we go. So for visit type, I click in the space and do Care Team Conference. I'm just gonna pick your encounter purpose. Share care plan review. Then you would put your notes in. It's an asterisk here, so it's required field, and so you would reference these 3 bullets. I'm just gonna put in. And then you would hit your save. You can do save here. I usually use the disk. You can see it saving. And then that opens the grid once you save to add your attendees. So I'm going to click on the grid. Add attendees. And then here they all are. You can select all of them, or you can pick individuals. So let's pick a couple people here. And then hit submit.
And Danielle.
Okay. Yes.
That list that populates, you don't have to go back to it, but the list that populates with all the care team members, that's pulling directly from who's already assigned on the care team, correct?
That's correct.
Because we've gotten questions before of if that list doesn't populate an individual that is going to be present at the care team conference, they need to be added to the care team and it'll then pull that information.
Yes, that is exactly right. Thank you for clarifying that. And then just click back to the previous screen. I think it's loading. Or not. I'm just going to click X here and then I'm going to go back into it over here. And then you can see the 2 people I chose are populated here. If for some reason, because I go back to one screen previously, and then if you right click in this space, you can hit refresh list and it will also populate the folks here. But that's how you do that. Care Team Conference. I'm just going to go home. Okay. And were there other questions, or did you want me to show the resources?
So I'd like to, because we've had a lot of great questions, and thank you for your patience with us in kind of navigating them. They all seem to come in at the same time, so thank you. Is there any other workflow that folks would like to see? any specific questions that you might have. I think this is the perfect time if there's any lingering workflow items that people would like to see. And I think Danielle, just give a couple minutes because sometimes
Sure.
folks are typing them in. But and if we're finding, because we did get a couple of questions that were organization specific, and we would love to be able to have a conversation and help support you directly. And so if you reach out to the help desk via email, we can set up a call, or we can set up a demo if that's helpful. We're really here to help support you, so let us know what you need to be successful. And no questions are coming in, Danielle, so I think that it might be a good place to transition to the resources, and if something comes in during that time, I'll bring it up.
Oh, great. Okay, so from the home page, this is one way to get to additional resources. You can click in the, click on the question mark there, and that's the help button. And then you can see our phone number and our email. And then you can click here for Care Navigator resources, and this will bring you to our website, which you can go directly to the website at any time. You don't need to go into Care Navigator to get here. It's just onecarevt.org. And the Care Navigator, well, it brought us right to the Care Navigator support page that way. If you're going through just the website way, you would just go to the About Me, or excuse me, just About, and then click Care Navigator support. And so here are our resources.
And a reminder, we will be sending out, we got a couple questions about this, we will be sending out meeting notes, the PowerPoint slides, and the link to our website, because we do record these sessions and they will be posted to our website. And that's estimated to be complete by end of day Monday. So stay tuned, we'll send out that email. I try to get it out on Friday or Monday, but that'll allow for some of you that wanted to revisit topics or could only make part of it, you could reference that. And there's a whole bunch of resources on this website that includes like our user form, so that if you're changing roles and you need to complete a new user form for our systems, it's located there. We have video modules. We have written modules. There's just a lot of different supports here, and we're always looking for feedback or recommendations for additional workflows. And so let us know. Let me just see. I have one other question.
Sure.
Danielle, if you don't mind.
No, not at all.
Where would we find the acuity level for a patient?
Okay. Let me click into Gail again. It keeps bringing me here, so I'm just going to do this.
And as a reminder, we're in the staging part of the system, which typically is a little bit slower because it isn't production, and that's to ensure that we're in compliance with HIPAA. And so thank you for your patience and bearing with us. And the staging system is set up to operate like it would right in production, so that the workflow and the screens are the same.
Okay, so I went into a different patient. This time I went into Edwin Gonzalez. I believe it's in the care coordination section. Yes, it is. Okay, so right here, care coordination, and it's right here. So you can click in there and you can see the different choices. So it needs daily contact, and then you just hit the save button after you make your selection. And then you'll also, when you, I'm just going to go home here. If you want to look at, if you want to look at acuity level with all your patients, you can go to my active patients, which you probably would want to do. If you want to just put your filter on, and you can filter by your acuity level. So if you want to just see all your patients that need daily contact, you can just do this, hit OK, and then it will bring them all back here. Just another way to keep track of who needs daily contact.
And it gives you that opportunity, Danielle, to really, this list is, you can sort and filter it on all of the top.
All of these. Yeah.
So anything that you see there, you should be able to filter or sort depending on what your care coordination need is or your individual organization's workflow. So that was the last question, I believe.
Okay.
We want to thank you, Danielle, for walking us through that, and thank you everyone for attending. And please reach out again if there's other questions. We're at the help desk, and we're always here to help support. And keep an eye out in your email. We will be sending out the notes and such by the end of day Monday. And we wish everyone happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.